we are seeing the uprising of Christianity in pop culture.
Right.
Like you see Bryce Crawford, and he goes to all these terrible places to preach the gospel.
Yeah.
And, he don't care. Not only that, I mean, you're seeing big movements all over the world.
Gen Z for Jesus.
Yeah, Gen Z for Jesus.
But I seen another group, they went into a Satanist church and started playing worship in the middle of the church. And, like, it was a bigger church, and, like, people could just walk in and, like, worship all these, the Satan and all this stuff. But they went in there and started playing worship music and got kicked out. Then they stayed right outside the door for, like, a couple extra hours playing worship music, and like people got saved and delivered. But I mean, not all of pop culture is bad, but the mainstream media pushes the bad side of it. Over the last few years, we've seen all these revivals breaking out in colleges, and people getting baptized, tons of people. And so, I mean, there is good coming out of pop culture. You just got to look for it, because mainstream media is not going to push it.
Well, you see, I think the biggest door opener was The Chosen. Best thing that we had since The Chosen was The Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
But, The Chosen is a part of my testimony. I was studying movies because I was trying to get ideas for like stories for screenwriting and all this other stuff, and I was getting ready to make my first feature-length film script. The Chosen kept coming out. I was like, you know what? I'll try. I'll try it, because for the longest time, Christian content in terms of movies and shows has just always been like lower budget, and like they haven't been able to hire good actors, good film directors, good filmmakers. And like the best movie that we had really gotten apart from Passion of the Christ was The War Room. And so when The Chosen came out, what surprised me when I first started watching it, I was like, okay, so this is going to be about Jesus. But no, it was about Jesus from the perspective of the disciples and those who were around him. Everything that Mary Magdalene was dealing with in the first episode, like suicidal, getting drunk, wanting to drink herself to death, wanting to throw herself off a cliff. I was thinking about throwing myself off my balcony at one point. And I just remember I was like, what the heck? I was like, this is everything that I'm dealing with. And I remember when Jesus shows up. To this day, I rewatched the first episode. I immediately see Jonathan Rumi. I was like, it's Jonathan Rumi playing as Jesus. And when I watched that first episode, it wasn't Jonathan Rumi, it was Jesus. And I know that God used the show to bring me to him. But through The Chosen, you've seen after I graduated Alabama, we went to go watch The Shift, which was a really interesting movie. It was like a sci-fi version of the Book of Job. It was like a multiverse movie, which I found was like
real weird.
Weird that they're doing a multiverse movie about Christianity. But also you see with like Bonhoeffer that had just come out, Cabrini, which got insane reviews, animated movie that just came out, King of Kings. Mark Hamill, who played as Luke Skywalker, was in it. He was
okay, I know him.
Yeah, he was King Herod or something. Oh. And like Mark Hamill is like very much against Christianity, and he played in it. I was like, maybe it planted a seed, like I don't know.